My name's Sean McClurg, and I want to talk about my experience, my spiritual journey experience for the past year and a half, as well as some bits and pieces of what led up to me realizing that I want to choose myself, that my life's purpose is for me to live for me. It's not for anything else. It's for me to shine in my highest light and love and show up for me and know that this experience is for me. When my whole life I denied that. In a lot of ways, I was also conditioned in that way to show up and like just not even be, for starters, not even being emotionally present. But for the past year and a half, I have been meditating every single day. It first started out with 20 minutes, and now it's up to like 6 to 8 hours. And some I've pushed it to 14. Just starting with 20 minutes. And it's led me to opening up to so many things of what is true, what it means to be me, and what it means to choose myself. What it means to be emotionally intelligent, to emotionally regulate, to have a clean, healthy immune system, to be knee deep in your shit and process generational ancestral traumas that you're holding on to, contracts that you signed when you chose this life, to heavy weights that I was conditioned through with just being a child, and I had to take on these roles in mass that weren't for me. But for survival, and they became habits and mask identity, shadows, illusions, whatever you want to call it, darkness, your shadow self, to just diving in deep, doing what you'd consider shadow work, but in meditation form, and realizing that this whole entire time I've minimized, abandoned, rejected, was taught to reject through survival, as well as like outside means of being loved, being worthy, valuing, being valued, being seen, being heard, of needing to reject and self-abandon myself. This creative part of me that is me, that is like what I came here to do, is be a creative, be in multiple forms, in new forms. I'm finding so many new ways to creatively express myself. I consider this a creative expression. And oof, I feel it. It was my sacral was, I was feeling it there emotionally. And so creatively expressing myself through my voice, my story, my journey, as well as through writing in different forms. Poetry and story writing are two things that I'm working on with that. I always enjoyed English class, even though I did enjoy reading books. The books of English class are not it. There are the occasional good books, but nah. Anyway, yeah. And then art. Really just a lot of art. Oh, and travel. Travel and art have been what I realize is like my soul's calling and my passion. Whew. And what is my purpose? Not getting a degree, working some job, showing up for people, keeping people around that aren't meant for me. And that's been another big piece for me of, man, I used to talk to so many girls on Snapchat. I had a best friend for 8 years that we just coped together watching anime and fucking around, doing shit that wasn't my purpose, wasn't choosing me, wasn't putting myself first. Because it became habitual, it became normalized. a really big coping mechanism that turned into habits that turned into identity. And then through, man, I had a really big reality check, ego death tower moment all in one. Like, that changed, that let a lot of light in that I wasn't prepared for, a lot of my divinity in that I wasn't prepared for, in a bad experience. And it was, at the time, the most fearful, debilitating, emotionally, like someone just like flicking the cat, just shaking a Coke bottle, just flicking it off, and it's like, oh my gosh, there is so much stuff that I am holding on to, that being raised by a single parent, I didn't know, it wasn't normalized. And through conditioning, you normalize these things. And as in not being emotionally intelligent, not even feeling emotions, expressing them. And then me, through this past year and a half, I've learned to value myself, worthy, know that I am worthy as I am, no matter where I am, even if I'm at the deepest depths that I'm in, unearthing the most wildest shit that I've been looping in my nervous system for the longest. And then actually finding value in myself, because I would always go outside of myself for value. I was taught that through achievement, success, superiority, which is all insecurity themes, that is where my value, my worth, and my love is, and where I receive that. And it's not true. And my values and needs being met by sacrificing myself. And these are just all things that are the complete opposite of what I was getting emotional about, of that putting myself first and what is authentically me, that my experience is for me. And ultimately, this inner child and this creative me, this imaginative me, this playful me, this loving me. I have a really big heart. A really big heart. And it was denied. I was taught to sacrifice it for the sake of others, to be loved. I'm smiling and not trying to cry. Whew. But knowing that it is my truth, that I'm meant to give this all to me and be this me for me, and not put it in the hands of others that can't hold it or appreciate it. Whew, man. So, yeah. And just, man, this past year and a half has been me realizing that, and all the masks and layers of me denying myself, to being able to show up in this way, that I am this big-hearted soul, loving human, and I can love myself in this way and value myself for who I am. Dude, the me a year and a half ago would never come out in this way, express myself in this way, even recognize this light and love inside of me. Whew. So go within and nah, I can't even. This is just me showing up in this way to show that it's possible for you to do this for yourself too. that you are meant to be this you for you, not for others. And it's hard. It's not easy. But it is the most rewarding thing. So, take that one step to be the light that you are, because it's worth it. Yeah.